If you're trapped in overthinking, remember, your mind is trying to keep you safe, but it's keeping you stuck. You can thank it for trying to protect you, but you must teach it to trust life again. You cannot stop overthinking by thinking more. You cannot think your way out of overthinking. The solution lies in shifting from your mind to your present experience. Overthinking is living in the future or past. Peace is only in the present. Step 1. Name your thoughts. When you catch yourself overthinking, instead of going deeper into those thoughts, name them. For example, if you're worrying about what your boss thinks of you, say in your mind, "This is a worry thought." If you're replaying an old argument, say, "This is a replay thought." Naming your thoughts helps you distance yourself from them. Carl Jung called this creating space between the ego and the thought. The moment you name it, you realize, I am not this thought. I am the observer of this thought. Step 2. Feel instead of thinking. Overthinkers are uncomfortable with feelings. They try to analyze them away. For example, if you feel lonely, instead of thinking why you feel lonely, sit quietly and just feel it in your body. Where is the loneliness? In your chest? Your stomach? Does it feel heavy, tight, empty? Breathe into that area and let the feeling exist. Jung said, "What you resist persists. What you accept transforms." By feeling instead of analyzing, you let the emotion flow out instead of trapping it in your mind. Step 3. Set a worry time. Give yourself 10 to 15 minutes a day to sit and think about all your worries. Write them down in a notebook. When overthinking comes up at other times, tell yourself, I'll think about this in my worry time later. Most of the time, by the time worry time arrives, half your worries feel unimportant. This technique is proven in cognitive behavioral therapy to reduce intrusive thoughts. Step 4. Move your body. Jung believed the body and mind are deeply connected. When your mind is stuck, move your body. Go for a walk, stretch, do yoga, or clean your room. Movement grounds you back to reality. It brings your energy from the chaotic mind back into the stable body. Step 5. Create decision deadlines. Overthinkers struggle with decisions because they want to be 100% sure. But life never gives 100% certainty. Set a deadline for decisions. For example, I will choose this by tonight, 8 p.m., no matter what. Your mind will panic, but you will teach it that clarity comes from action, not endless thinking. Step 6. Shadow work. Carl Jung's shadow work means exploring your hidden fears and unconscious beliefs. Ask yourself, what am I scared of here? For example, if you're overthinking about texting someone first, ask, what am I scared of? Maybe the answer is, I'm scared they won't reply. Then ask, and what if they don't? Then I'll feel rejected. And what does rejection mean to me? It means I'm not lovable. Here you realize your overthinking is not about texting. It's about a deep belief that you're unlovable. By bringing this shadow belief to light, you can start healing it. Step 7. Limit dopamine overload. Overthinkers often feed their anxiety with endless scrolling, gaming, and digital distractions. This spikes dopamine unnaturally, leaving your brain restless and craving more stimulation. Take breaks from your phone. Sit in silence. Breathe deeply. Let your brain reset. Step 8. Practice mindfulness. Grounding. Simple exercise. Look around and name 5 things you see, 4 things you hear, 3 things you can touch, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This grounds your mind to the present moment, breaking the chain of overthinking. Step 9. Learn to trust life. Carl Jung said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." Overthinking is trying to control life to avoid pain. But pain is part of life. Trust that whatever happens, you have the strength to handle it. Let go of needing to control every outcome. Step 10. Seek therapy if needed. If your overthinking is ruining your peace, relationships, and daily functioning, seek professional help. Therapy is not weakness. It is courage. A therapist can help you break thought patterns that you may not even realize you're trapped in. Lastly, remember this truth. Overthinking steals your today for a tomorrow that may never come. Life is happening now. While you sit paralyzed in your thoughts, the sun still sets, the days still pass, and your dreams wait silently for you to wake up from your mind and live them into reality. Carl Jung believed that our mind is like a house. Overthinking is like sitting in one dusty room all your life, thinking about every corner, but never getting up to actually explore it. There is a whole world beyond your thoughts. Don't let your life be wasted sitting inside your own head. Deep thinking. The phrase sounds beautiful, philosophical, intelligent, like something that separates the wise from the ignorant. People admire deep thinkers. They see them as insightful, mysterious, profound. But what if I told you Carl Jung believed deep thinking is not always a gift? What if it's a hidden curse no one talks about? Imagine a person sitting by their window at night, staring into the dark sky. Their mind is not silent. It's running like a river after a storm. Thoughts about life, death, existence, meaning, pain, purpose, loneliness, and everything in between. Their friends say, "You think too much." Their family says, "Why can't you just be happy?" But they can't stop, because their mind doesn't have a switch. It goes deeper and deeper into places most people never visit. And sometimes these places are dark, terrifying, and lonely. Carl Jung believed deep thinking is a double-edged sword. It gives you insight, but it also disconnects you from life. Because while you're thinking, you're not living. While you're analyzing, you're not experiencing. While you're questioning everything, you're missing the simple beauty of just being. Ask yourself, Mawa, how many times have you sat with your family or friends, but your mind was somewhere else, thinking about your existence, your future, your past, your mistakes, your purpose? Everyone is laughing, eating, enjoying, but you're lost in a world inside your head. You nod, you smile, but you're not really there. This is the hidden curse of deep thinkers. They live more in their mind than in the world. They feel disconnected from others because their thoughts are too heavy to share, too complicated to explain, too dark to speak out loud. So they remain silent, and their silence makes others think they're arrogant or cold. But in truth, they're drowning in their own mind, unable to find the right words to explain what they're feeling. Carl Jung believed that when thinking becomes excessive, it becomes a defense mechanism. You think deeply to avoid feeling deeply, because feelings are messy. They're raw, chaotic, and painful. But thinking gives you an illusion of control. You analyze your feelings instead of feeling them. You study your sadness instead of crying it out. You question your anger instead of expressing it. You dissect your loneliness instead of accepting it. Thinking becomes a way to avoid feeling. But what you avoid controls you, and what you suppress grows in the shadows of your mind. Deep thinkers often struggle with existential anxiety. They question everything: the meaning of life, the purpose of pain, the reality of love, the inevitability of death. These thoughts are not just philosophical. They're painful, because the more you think, the more you realize how little you know. The more you analyze, the more meaningless things feel. You start seeing the emptiness behind society's illusions: money, fame, power, beauty. You see how temporary everything is, how everyone is just pretending to be okay, how we're all just fragile beings trying to find comfort in stories we tell ourselves. Jung called this confronting the shadow of reality. Most people avoid it. They distract themselves with work, entertainment, social media, gossip. But deep thinkers can't escape their mind. Even at night, when the world sleeps, their thoughts keep them awake. They lie in bed, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything they said wrong in life, everything they could have done better, everything they wish they could change, and everything they know they never can. Another painful truth is that deep thinking creates isolation. The more you think, the harder it becomes to connect with others, because surface-level conversations drain you. Small talk feels pointless. Gossip feels toxic. Pretending feels painful. You crave deep conversations about life, purpose, psychology, philosophy, the universe. But finding people who think like you is rare, so you start staying silent. You become the quiet one in groups. People think you're shy, introverted, or arrogant. But in reality, your mind is full of unspoken thoughts, and your heart is full of unheard feelings. Carl Jung warned that when thinking disconnects you from living, it becomes self-destruction, because life is not meant to be analyzed alone. It's meant to be experienced, felt, lived, shared. But deep thinkers often become prisoners of their own mind. Their thoughts become walls, separating them from the world. They feel alone, even when surrounded by people. They feel empty, even when their life is full. Because thinking gives them knowledge, but not meaning. Meaning comes from living. Ask yourself today, are you thinking to understand life, or are you thinking to avoid living it? Are you using your thoughts to grow, or are you hiding in them to stay safe from pain? Because no matter how deep your thoughts are, if they keep you from living, they're not wisdom. They're chains. But here's what Carl Jung believed. Deep thinking is not meant to isolate you. It is meant to awaken you. The purpose of your thoughts is not to keep you trapped in your mind, but to guide you into living with greater truth. Yes, the world may not understand your thoughts, but that doesn't make your thoughts meaningless. They are your gift, but only if you use them to create, to heal, to love, to teach, to transform. Not just to analyze endlessly in silence. If you're a deep thinker, ask yourself, am I using my thoughts to grow or to hide? Do my thoughts lead me to life or pull me away from it? Am I sharing my insights to help others or hoarding them in fear of rejection? What would happen if I stopped thinking for a while and simply felt, acted, and lived? Because the truth is, deep thinking without living is like reading every recipe in the world, but never tasting food. Knowledge without experience is empty. Jung believed that true wisdom is not just knowing the truth, but living it, feeling it, embodying it. First, understand this truth. Your thoughts are only valuable if they lead to action or deeper feeling. Thinking for the sake of thinking is mental masturbation. It gives temporary satisfaction, but no real growth. So the first step is to bring your thoughts into your body. When you catch yourself spiraling in thoughts, pause. Place your hand on your chest or stomach. Feel your breath. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? For example, if you're thinking about the meaning of life, beneath that thought might be a feeling of sadness, fear, or emptiness. Feel it. Breathe into it. Because feelings are what connect you to life. Thoughts keep you in your head. Feelings bring you back to your soul. Carl Jung believed in active imagination, a process where you allow your thoughts to flow into creative expression. For example, if you're thinking about loneliness, don't just analyze it endlessly. Write a poem about it. Draw it. Compose music about it. Talk to yourself as if loneliness was a person sitting next to you. Ask it questions. Listen to what it says. This turns your thinking into creativity, giving it form, life, and meaning. Next, practice thinking with others. Deep thinkers often remain isolated because they believe no one can understand their thoughts. But Jung believed in the power of sharing inner truths. Find people who value depth, even if it's just one friend or an online community. Share your insights, your questions, your struggles. Teaching and discussing your thoughts makes them clearer and transforms them from burdens into gifts. Another powerful practice is limiting your thinking time. Overthinking creates paralysis. To avoid this, give yourself a thinking window. For example, decide, I will think about this problem for 20 minutes today. Set a timer. Think deeply. Write your insights, and when the timer ends, stop thinking and move into action or rest. This trains your mind to be disciplined instead of chaotic. Jung believed that integration is the purpose of thinking. You think deeply to integrate knowledge into your life. For example, if you realize life is temporary, don't just dwell on that thought. Use it to live more freely. Love without fear. Speak your truth. Try what you desire. Because if death is certain, fear loses its power over you. Deep thinking also needs balance with simple living. Make sure you're grounded in daily life. Cook your meals mindfully. Clean your space. Talk to people about simple things too. Laugh. Watch a light movie. Play with children or pets. These small daily actions keep your feet on the ground while your mind soars high. Without this balance, you become a thinker, disconnected from the world. Jung warned against intellectual inflation, where people think so deeply that they feel superior or disconnected from normal people. Remember, true wisdom is humble. It doesn't isolate. It connects. The purpose of your deep thoughts is not to feel above others, but to understand and love them more deeply. Another powerful technique is embodied philosophy. Whatever you believe, live it. If you believe life is about growth, ask yourself daily, how did I grow today? If you believe love is the highest truth, ask, how did I express love today? This turns your thoughts into your way of living, transforming them from ideas to reality. Carl Jung also emphasized embracing the mystery of life. Deep thinkers want answers. They want clarity. But life is not always clear. Some questions have no answers. Some truths are paradoxes. Learning to sit with mystery without needing to solve it brings peace. For example, the meaning of life may never be fully known, but you can still live meaningfully by creating your own purpose every day. Finally, remember Jung's words. Who looks outside, dreams. Who looks inside, awakes. Your deep thinking is your doorway to awakening. But don't stop at thoughts. Use them to awaken your actions, your love, your creativity, and your courage. Because at the end of life, your thoughts alone will not satisfy you. Only the life you lived through them will. Ask yourself today, how can I express my deepest thoughts creatively? How can I use my insights to help others? How can I balance thinking with simple daily living? How can I turn my thoughts into actions that make my life meaningful? Because the truth is, deep thinking is not your curse. Staying trapped in it is. Your thoughts are a gift, but only if you use them to build a life that feels true to your soul. If this video resonated with your silent thoughts, don't just keep it in your mind. Like this video as your first step towards transforming thinking into living. Comment below with the deepest thought that controls your life right now. Subscribe to Psychatic for more savage psychological truths, and hit the bell icon to never miss your next awakening. If these videos add meaning to your life, consider sending a super thanks to keep this journey growing for you.